You're welcome to Signature TV News. I am Charles Pius. First, the headlines. IG tasks regional police chiefs on collaboration to tackle insecurity. Israeli hostages freed from Gaza arrive at hospital. On the foreign scene, Israeli hostages freed from Gaza arrive at hospital. In sports, Mexico and Brazil national soccer teams prepare to face off in Texas. Now the news in detail. The Enugu State government says it is partnering with the Godfrey Okoye University and other private institutions to establish the Exoribo Nucleic Acid DNA Center in the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Emmanuel Obi, disclosed this while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting held at the Enugu Government House on Friday. He said the council approved the Enugu government would partner with private institutions that were going into advancement in technology and biomolecular tests. According to him, the state agreed to partner with Godfrey Okoye University Center for DNA Forensics, Criminal Investigation, and Education. The commissioner revealed that the partnership was targeted at improving advanced diagnostics, criminal investigations, research, and learning beyond what had been available before. He said the facility is the type that will provide advanced DNA analysis and investigations which has not been available in the country and even within West Africa. Obi added that the establishment of the DNA facilities would touch a lot of sectors in Enugu State and make the technology available to other nearby countries in West Africa as well as improve education. NG Educators International Model United Nations General Assembly have declared closed the high-level segment of the substantive session of 2024 of the NGIMUN General Assembly tagged Enugu 2024. The president of the NGIMUN, Tilvlum Ahure, while addressing the press on Friday, said that the conference was to address important issues and guidelines on the development of education in developing countries, which will help provide quality education for children, youths, adults, and ensure gender equality in education.
The nutritional status of young children, to address undernutrition in children under 5 and to provide adequate nutrition to school children. We emphasize the importance of promoting social responsibility and responsible citizenship by encouraging youth, the private sector, the civil society to contribute positively to their societies by engaging in education-related programs. We underline the particular vulnerability of young people to various violent ideologies and urge the appropriate authorities to provide age-appropriate education that fosters mutual tolerance and understanding, promotes peace, and counters incitement to violence, including terrorism.
The president said the revolution was partitioned into 3 documents and was signed by stakeholders that represented all parts of Africa to authenticate the declaration made from the plenary session.
The Enugu Declaration 2024 has gotten or obtained signatories of the ambassadors that have traveled across several countries in Africa to participate, to organize, to be the ones that have ensured that there's a legal backing to this event. Their signatures are all appended to the Enugu Declaration 2024.
The Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, EEDC, says it will begin the metering of its Band A customers across its network in the southeast through its Meter Asset Providers MAP initiative. The head corporate communications EEDC, Emeka Eze, who made the disclosure on Friday in Enugu, said the exercise, which will kick off in Enugu on June 11th, will focus on EEDC customers served by Band A feeders under its Ogui, Okonano, and Abapa districts within Enugu metropolis. As I said, the mobile map metering approach was part of efforts by the EEDC to ensure that customers under service Band A across its network were metered within 48 hours. According to him, the company adopted this approach to ensure that the affected customers who enjoy minimum daily availability of 20 hours can begin to manage their energy consumption and pay for what they consume. As I said, EEDC customers under Okonano district served by Topland 11 kV, Gariki 11 kV, Amechi 33 kV, and UNEC 11 kV feeders are to visit the EEDC service center at Mayor Bus Stop, Abani Road. Also, customers under Ogui district served by New Haven 11 kV, Abakaliki Road 11 kV, Powerhouse 11 kV, Chime Avenue 11 kV, Onisha Road 11 kV, and Gulf 11 kV feeders are to visit EEDC Ogui district office at Station Road, Enugu. He further noted that customers under Abapa district served by Abapa 3 11 kV, Damija 11 kV, Noas 11 kV, and Ogogo 33 kV feeders are to visit Transikulu Service Center. According to him, customers are expected to visit the mentioned locations with a valid form of identification, either driver's license, voter's card, NIN, or international passports, and a copy of their bills. The EEDC spokesman said that the MAP metering program allows customers to pay and get metered and reimbursed with the value of the cost of meter through energy over a period. 11 governors have been selected for the Institute of Security and Strategic Studies ISS's Excellence Award. The registrar of the Institute, Sunday Idakwoji, in a statement on Friday in Abuja, said the award would be presented to the governors on November 23rd. The award for Best Governor on Security and Humanitarian Services of the year, he said, will be bestowed on Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno for his exceptional leadership and innovative strategies in improving security and providing humanitarian aid in one of Nigeria's most challenging regions. According to him, Governor Amadu Fintiri of Adamawa will be honored for his dedication to maintaining peace and security while implementing comprehensive humanitarian initiatives to support vulnerable communities. Idakwoji said that Governor Diko Brada of Katsina State would be recognized as the best governor on collective security advocate of the year for his proactive stance on collective security measures and his effort to foster collaboration among various security agencies to combat crime and ensure the safety of citizens. Other governors to receive the award are Governors Ahmad Aliyu of Sokoto, Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun, Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State, Sheriff Oborevori of Delta, Ademola Adeleke of Oshun, and Similaye Fubara of Rivers. Idakwoji said the institute had in 10 years of its existence been at the forefront of providing robust academic and practical education, fostering excellence in security standards, knowledge, and cooperation within the African region and globally. The federal government says it has offered organized labor 62,000 naira as the new national minimum wage for workers in the country. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State said this while addressing journalists at the end of the tripartite committee negotiation meeting on Friday in Abuja. Uzodinma, who is also the chairman of the Governors Forum, spoke on behalf of the governors that was progress the negotiation of the new minimum wage. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Botokun, has called on West African police chiefs to collaborate and devise innovative ways to tackle emerging complex security challenges facing the ECOWAS bloc. Ebotokun made this known at a meeting of the West African Police Chiefs Committee Technical Subcommittee on Training and Operations in Abuja. He said that the West African sub-region had in recent times been confronted with complex national security challenges, which had been heightened transnational crime. He said the activities of the cyber criminals has imposed on all the additional burden of developing national security capacity to dominate cyberspace and deny criminals the liberty to operate in the overriding national and regional security interests. According to him, these challenges have been posing significant threats to the national security order of member states, as well as regional peace and social economic profile. Ebetokun listed such crimes as stealing, cross-border robberies, human goods, drugs trafficking, small arms and light weapons smuggling, banditry, terrorism, as well as other non-state actors. He further said that cybercrime and cyber-enabled crimes were now emerging as bigger challenges to the sub-region's security. The IG said that a critical hindrance to effective regional law enforcement operations and the criminal justice delivery initiatives was the difference in legal frameworks and legislative systems among member states. Also speaking, ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Ambassador Abdel Fattah Musa, said that the fast evolution of information technology had further sophisticated the platforms and tactics used by criminal networks against targets. The commissioner said that security and law enforcement agents in the region had for so many years focused on territorial, aerial, and maritime borders as key points for close surveillance against crime. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and the Vanguard Against Drug Abuse, VGADA, Detox Center have strengthened partnership on the campaign against drug abuse, treatment, and rehabilitation of drug users. The NDLEA chairman, retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, said this when the executive director of the Rehabilitation Center paid a courtesy visit to the agency on Friday in Abuja. Marwa, who was represented by the Director, Media and Advocacy, NDLEA, Femi Obafemi, said the agency had partnered other organizations that have or operate private-run treatments and rehabilitation centers like VGADA Detox Center. He said the agency had gone further to see how other states could be mobilized to support rehabilitated and treated people with skills acquisition as well as getting them reintegrated to the society. Marwa said the agency has, in addressing drug demand reduction for those who may be afraid of stigmatization or being judged, introduced a toll-free helpline on 0800-102-03040. He said that drug abuse or abusers tend to be scared of arrests, adding that there were a lot of them who were afraid to go out to a treatment center to seek for help. The president of ECOWAS Courts, Justice Edward Asante, has promised to support the ECOWAS Parliament in efforts being made towards conducting direct elections of its lawmakers from their member states. The Community Courts president made this known while welcoming the new Speaker of the Parliament, Memunatu Ibrahima, when she paid him a courtesy visit in his office in Abuja on Friday. He expressed the court's full support for current efforts aimed at bolstering the independence of the ECOWAS Parliament through the direct elections of its members from their respective countries. Asante called for a strong institutional collaboration between the courts and the Parliament against the backdrop of the enduring partnership between both parties. According to him, the visit, which comes shortly after her investiture, symbolizes the solidarity and mutual respect between the two ECOWAS institutions over the past 5 years. Asante further emphasized the importance of continued collaboration in exchange of resources and expertise, such as interpreters and translators, to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of both institutions. Still to come on the news, Israeli hostages freed from Gaza arrive at the hospital. Mexico and Brazil national soccer teams prepare to face off in Texas. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Signature TV News. On the foreign scene, Muslims arrived in the holy city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia on Saturday to attend the 2024 Hajj pilgrimage season. Wrapped in white robes, with some carrying umbrellas against the burning desert sun, Muslims walked in the circle around the Kaaba, the sacred building at the center of Mecca's Grand Mosque. The Hajj pilgrimage is considered a religious duty that every able-bodied Muslim who can afford it must carry out at least once in their lifetime. Home to Islam's holiest sites, Saudi Arabia regards itself as the guardian of Islam and assumes the responsibility of maintaining a peaceful Hajj season when Muslims from various sects gather at the same place and time. Israeli hostages freed by the Israeli army from a residential neighborhood of Al-Nuseirat in the central Gaza Strip arrived on Saturday to a hospital in Israel after being rescued as part of a special operation. Israeli army has released video of hostages reuniting with families in hospital. Andrei Kozlov, 27, one of 4 hostages, disembarked a helicopter to a cheering crowd along with Almog Meir, Jan, 21, who raised his arms in a triumphant gesture, and Shlomi Ziv, 40, followed the pair accompanied by Israeli forces before being driven to hospital for medical checks. The 4 hostages who were kidnapped by Hamas-led militants from the Nova Music Festival in southern Israel on October 7th last year were in good health, the military said. They also include Noah Agamani, 25, who was seen forcefully taken away on a motorbike by Hamas militants towards Gaza in video. After 8 months of devastating war in Gaza precipitated by Hamas' October 7 attack, 116 of the around 250 hostages abducted by militants are left in the Palestinian enclave, according to Israeli tallies, about 40 of whom have been declared dead in absentia by authorities. Meanwhile, the U.S. President Joe Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron on Saturday welcomed the return of 4 Israeli hostages rescued alive in Gaza. France and the United States will double their efforts to avoid the Middle East exploding, notably in Lebanon, where there is urgency to reduce tensions between Israel and Hezbollah, Macron has said. Macron noted that Paris and Washington also saw an escalation strategy by Iran in the region and that the 2 countries were determined to exert the necessary pressure to stop the trend. French President Emmanuel Macron had earlier welcomed U.S. President Joe Biden on Saturday for a state visit marked by splendor, as well as talks on trade, Israel, and Ukraine. The 2 men, fresh from commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day, share a warm relationship despite past tensions over a submarine deal with Australia. The U.S. President's motorcade drove down the Champs-Élysées Avenue and stopped at France's war monuments, the Arc de Triomphe, where Joe and Jill Biden received a grand welcome ceremony next to the tomb of the unknown soldier. The French Army Choir gave a rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner and La Marseillaise, and Biden and Macron greeted Army veterans and joined senior officials from both countries. Escorted by French guards on horseback, the leaders then drove down a sunny Champs-Élysées en route to the LC's presidential palace, where they will discuss policy issues and attend a dinner. Biden hosted Macron for a state visit at the White House in 2022. In sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria were held to a 1-1 draw by the Bafana Bafana of South Africa in their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers match day 3 at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo on Friday. The Super Eagles have now drawn 3 consecutive games and are in 5th place, while South Africa sits in the 4th spot. The uninspiring Super Eagles had to come from behind to earn a 1-1 draw against their more adventurous opponents from South Africa. Bafana Bafana took the lead in the 29 minutes of the first half through Themba Zwane, who dazzled past the Nigerian defense to send the ball beyond the hapless Stanley Nwabali in the Nigerian goal. Speaking after the match, Super Eagles coach Finidi George said his players approached the first half of the match in a sloppy manner that did not produce a goal. George said the draw is not good enough for the team as they have 3 points from 3 matches. He, however, assured fans that the team will strategize to ensure victory in the next group match. The Super Eagles will face 3rd place Benin Republic on Monday in Côte d'Ivoire as they seek to get their campaign back on track. And elsewhere, the Mexican and Brazilian national men's soccer teams warm up on Kiley Field in College Station, Texas on Friday ahead of an international friendly match on Saturday. Gabriel Martinelli, a forward for Arsenal and Brazil, said the team is gearing up for the Copa America tournament kicking off later this month. The match is part of Mex Tour, a 5-cities U.S. tour by the Mexican national team ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup taking place in Mexico, the United States, and Canada. On May 31st, Mexico defeated the Bolivian national team 1-0 in Chicago Soldier Field, and on June 5th, Uruguay beat Mexico 4-0 in Denver. Mexican midfielder Luis Chavez said he plans to put on a show for the crowds in Texas, whether they are local or visiting from abroad. The last time both national teams faced off was in July 2018 for the FIFA World Cup finals in Russia, where Brazil defeated Mexico 2-0. This is the first international soccer match to be played at Texas A&M University's Kyle Field, according to university officials. The game is set to begin at 7 p.m. on Saturday. That's the news on the hour. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching. See you later.